Hello and welcome to this video. We will not be playing Schitt's Creek. I only picked up this box from the dollar store. It was like $4 and I really like these boxes and I'm going to customize this box. Just like I did in a previous video with Space Hulk Death Angel. Maybe to not that extent, but this box is going to hold my latest obsession, something I discovered, something I thought I would never like, which is a roll and write game. And in this video, as the title suggests, we'll be playing Dark Fort. But this game is really a micro game. It is, if you've watched my channel, I've done a play series on Dungeon Quest. One of my favorite games because it's so simple and it's fun, and it's all self-contained. But this is essentially Dungeon Quest, and all you need to play is the rule set, right? And some dice and a pen and paper. So that's what we'll be playing today. But instead of playing with a journal, because it's kind of hard to see with the camera, I'm going to be using an iPad. Now, before we start, actually, maybe I should talk about what's the objective of Dark Fort. The objective is you want to collect all 6 of these rewards. Once you do, you have to collect one more reward, which is the final reward, and you're done. You are you win the game, which is I've never done. It's really hard. And in this video, I'm probably not going to do the full thing. I'm probably not going to go for all 6. Maybe we'll just do 1 or 2. I don't know how long this series is going to be. It's going to be a playlist. So the way you get an award is 2 ways. You either explore 12 rooms and gather 15 points, and you get points by killing monsters, or you spend 40 gold. You donate, it says here, collect 40 silver, which you return to the poor people in the ruined wasteland homes. So whenever you collect those stats, they all go back to 0, but you do get one of these levels or achievements or whatnot. Okay, so one thing I've also done is converted this entire book into, because I love doing print and paper craft, I converted the entire book into these cards that are just basically Magic the Gathering cards that I designed and printed out on photo glossy paper and sleeved on these cheap Magic the Gathering sleeves. And yeah, so we're going to be using these cards to play the game. So let me go ahead and set it up and we could just start. All right, so here we are. I'm just going to be using Sketchbook Pro here to do the drawing thing. All you need is a piece of paper and a pencil. But anyway, so here we are. So here's our hero. And it says, your name is Kargunt, a reluctant hero. You begin the game with 15 HP. So I'll be using this giant oversized die to track my health. You also begin the game with 15 plus D6 silver. So let's go ahead and bring out our dice tower. I'll just put it here on the side. And a D6. I'm going to be using these cool little dragon eye. I don't know if you can see that. There's like a dragon's eye in these dice. So anyway, 15 plus D6 silver. So we got 5. So we're going to have 20 silver. And I like to use actual coins. All right, so we got 15 silver. And now we have a starting weapon, which is on the right side here, or sorry, the left-hand side. We're gonna roll that's a D4. So we'll go ahead and roll a D4. And we have a 1, so we start off with a Warhammer. So let me go find that. A Warhammer right here, which gives us 6 damage, or potentially deliver 6 damage. And we have to roll on the right-hand side, which is a 4, a Cloak of Invisibility. All right, so the Cloak of Invisibility, it says here, avoid D4 uses. It should be saying avoid D4 fights. Yeah, so let me see how many times I could use this, and according to this, it is 4 times. So I'm going to be using some dice to keep track of that. So we get to use the cloak of invisibility 4 times, which might come in handy. And you'll see how all of it works with the enemies and stuff. So continuing, now we go to the dungeon phase here. This is the rules for the dungeon. And it says, to begin, draw a room of any size or form where D4 doors are placed anywhere in any direction. The D4 also determines what happens in that starting room. So we'll put that to the side. Let's go ahead and roll our D4, and we have found 1 exit. That is not a good start. All right, so here we are in Sketchbook. So now I'm just going to go ahead and draw, I don't know, doesn't have to be grid paper. I'm just going to go ahead and draw a little room. We only have like 1 exit here. So I'm just going to take my eraser, and I think we're just going to make it here. All right, so we start off in this room. I'm going to use a bright green so you can see it. And yeah, that's good. So that's us in this room. And we have rolled a 1. And according to this, what happens in this room? We find a random item, which is great. So here's the item cards in the bottom part here. This is the random item list. So we have found something extra in this. And we have found, what is that, number 5. So we have found armor. Yay, armor. All right, so let's grab our item deck and see if we can find armor. Here it is, armor. And the way armor works is you roll a D4 when taking damage, and that armor will absorb that much. So it looks like we're in pretty good shape. I would rather have a sword, but you'll see why in a second. All right, so from now on, we're just going to ignore this top part, and we're just going to focus on this. So I'm just going to keep this here on the side, and we are ready to start. So we have found our first room. So I'm going to be using this giant white die. We found our first room here, and we are going to venture this way. And this video is getting a little bit long, so we'll just do this room, and then we'll continue in future videos. Like I said, this is going to be a whole playlist. So let's go ahead, roll the dice, and see what we find. All right, so we found a 10, and what is that? A 1. Oh no, the game is over. We have found a dead end. Oh no. So that's it. The game would be over here. Kind of. Yeah. So what we're going to do so we could continue the game. So we found a 10. So we'll just ignore that. So what we got here is, according to the dungeon card, we have found a rectangular room, and this is a dead end. Let's see. So let's see what we found. So what we're going to do is we're going to give ourselves an extra exit. The game is actually over because there's no way you can't leave, and so anyway, that's unfortunate. That's a horrible way to start this series, but I'm going to give myself an exit. Let's say right here. Okay. This is just for the video. Normally I would just say, all right, that's it. Game over, start over. So we enter this room. So now what we have to see is we got to find out what happens in this room by rolling a D6. So it's a 1. So here are the room cards that I made. There's 6 of them. And we need to find room number 1, which is Desolation. Eerily quiet, nothing. The room is now officially explored. All right, so we get a second point, exploration point, and that's it. So I'm going to end the video here, and in the next video, we're going to continue, just so you can get a sense of how this game works.